Have you ever gone into your pet specialty store to get something for your dog to chew and found yourself staring at a section that was so complicated you just ended up grabbing the first thing? In this episode, Stop Guessing in the Chew Aisle, the smart way to choose dog chews, we'll turn an overwhelming aisle into easy, informed choices. Hi everyone, and welcome to Val Talks Pets, the forum for pet parents and enthusiasts alike. Having been in the pet industry for over 10 years now, I'm going to share with you issues and questions that arise as I work with pet parents on a day-to-day basis. I am not a veterinarian, but I do have certifications in canine, feline, small animal, fish and herptile, and avian health and nutrition from the University of California, Davis Extension. Pet parents buy their dogs chews for a bunch of reasons. First of all, most dogs do love to chew things. Some pet parents are giving their dog chews to prevent the dog from chewing things they shouldn't. Here's a bone. Stop chewing the table legs. Dogs are given chews to keep them occupied, especially when you are doing something that requires your full attention or you have company or a dinner party. At this time of year, when holiday get-togethers are happening or that ever-busy Christmas dinner, giving the dog something to chew keeps them occupied and out from under people's feet can be very helpful. Some parents give their dog chews to help with their teeth and keep up oral hygiene. So there are lots of reasons dogs get things to chew on. But what do you choose? Age does have a factor when deciding on what to get. Puppies, for example, under 5 months, or basically when they still have their baby teeth, should not be given hard bones or pizzles, for example. The possibility of breaking a baby tooth has to be factored into the decision. Senior dogs that may be having dental issues or perhaps a loose tooth also can be a factor. Let's start with the choices, and I'll let you know when we hit something friendly for a puppy or senior dog. Basically, chews fall into a few categories. Bones. These are actually the bones of an animal, be it beef or something else. Edibles. These are body parts from different animals. Non-animal, meaning these are chews that are man-made, that are from synthetic material. Raw. These are again animal bones but are not smoked or cured and are frozen raw. And chews made from natural ingredients. Let's start with bones. Bones for dogs are usually smoked or cured. A smoked bone is preserved with wood smoke, often at low temperatures, making them gerbil and flavorful for dogs. They are considered cooked as a manner of speaking. Cured bones use salt and other agents, and they are dried for preservation. Because smoked bones go through a cooking process, the question of whether they are safe can come up. According to canineconnoisseur.com, smoked bones are safe for dogs, but only when prepared correctly. This is when you have to be confident in the vendor. If the vendor has not smoked the bones properly at a low and slow temperature, there could be risk of splintering. The bones should be specifically for dogs and high quality. These vendors have special equipment to ensure the process is proper. The marrow bones from a good vendor can keep a dog occupied as they work at getting out the nutritious marrow inside the bone. Marrow bones often come in a small and large size. Cured bones, in particular the marrow bones, will have the marrow as well and the tasty bits on the outside of the bone, but the smoky flavor will not be present. I find that cured bones are often individually wrapped. Either way, it's important that the bones are coming from a reputable vendor. I had a man show up one day with a box full of smoked bones, and said he could give a great price and he had a friend with a facility for smoking bones. Well, that was just not a reputable vendor, in my opinion. Who is this friend? Where did these bones come from? Why are they in just a big box with no labels? The whole thing was dodgy as far as I was concerned, so hard no. Bones in the smoked or cured section are not just marrow bones. You can get knuckle bones in different sizes or big dino bones, as they like to call them. Most bones are usually beef because of the hardness. Smoked or cured bones can be a great distractor for dogs and good for their health. However, some pet parents complain they are messy with the outer beefy bits getting on the floor. And they should also be given in moderation. And if they are too rich and you find your dog has an upset stomach, then maybe this chew isn't for your dog. On to edibles. Edibles are all the other body parts that are processed, air-dried or oven-dried or cured for dogs to chew on. The most common is pizzles. Pizzles can be beef, water buffalo, sometimes pigs, or even camels. I have not seen camel pizzles, but apparently they exist. What is a pizzle? Well, to the horror of many, pizzles are penis. Yes, the penis of the steer, for example, is collected, cleaned, dried. They come in many different sizes and can be a straight stick or 2 or 3 pizzles together braided. They can be in a ring or other shape. Pizzles are hard, digestible, and rich in protein. They come in bulk form or packaged, and some have a declaration that they are scent-free. One thing, though, to keep in mind, when the product says they don't stink, it means that there has been some processing to make that happen. So if you want the basic pizzle, it shouldn't be labeled as scent-free. The other parts are the esophagus. Esophagus can come in sticks or flat strips or braids as well. Esophagus is softer, so it is a good choice for a puppy or senior dog. Cheek strips are also made into sticks or rolled out flat and then rolled into a roll. The strips can be quite hard, but the rolls are softer and can get gummy as the dog chews on them. The rolls could be a choice for a puppy or senior dog. There are also hooves from different sources. Some are just the hooves that are quite hard, and some are hooves that are stuffed with some kind of organ meat. These are hard as well, but have the added bonus of the stuffing. Also, horns follow in this category. Steer horns, for example, or sheep or water buffalo are very hard for those super aggressive chewers. Pig ears are a popular chew. Pig ears are cleaned, slowly dehydrated, baked, or smoked at low temperature to remove moisture, and are either left unpackaged or individually wrapped or bagged. I have found that pig ears can be a bit rich for some dogs, so Tummy Upset will let you know if they are. And of course, you can get packages of pig ear pieces, so you don't have to give the dog a whole ear. Other edibles can include rabbit ears, lamb tails, kangaroo tails, and a whole host of other things as well. I find it a bit weird to sell rabbit ears, for example, when someone is buying food for their actual pet rabbit. So not my choice of product. Edibles, as you can see, have their purpose of providing protein-rich chews, natural, that contribute to using all of the animal in a purpose that fulfills a dog's natural drive to chew. Let's now look at the synthetic chews. These chews may have a flavoring of beef, chicken, bacon, etc., but it is an infusion of the flavor. No actual meat is in the product. These would be your Nylabone, Benebone, or Barkbone, for example. They can be super hard, or in the case of Nylabone, softer, more pliant, especially with their puppy line. Sometimes the puppy Nylabone is the only option for a chewing puppy that is only 8 weeks, for example. But what is interesting about these chews is that there aren't any ingredients listed, at least on the ones I have had a good look through. I searched all over the packaging and found no ingredient list. I did find, however, on the Nylabone, this statement. Product is not intended to be eaten or ingested. If you think your dog swallowed a large piece, take the product away and contact your veterinarian immediately. Wow. Now, having said that, Tundra does have a large bone from the very hard choices that he has chewed on, and it has kind of just got, chew marked and nothing has come off. But it does make you concerned when you read something like that. The next category is raw. Raw means that the bones, for example, are not cooked or cured, are simply frozen. You can get marrow bones or rib bones or go into the other body parts like necks and feet from chickens or ducks, plus whole sardines or tails. It all depends on the raw provider and what they process. Some people thaw the chew or just give it to the dog frozen. This is where I do have to reiterate the caution on bones. Remember, the bones you see in the grocery are meant to make stock and are therefore cooked. They are not meant to be given to your dog raw. There has been no process done to them to kill off bacteria, so it is unsafe to give your dog raw grocery store bones. The last category is natural ingredient chews. I know that sounds a bit odd, but there are chews that are made from natural ingredients to substitute the edibles or rawhide even, that are great alternatives. One of the newer products to the market is collagen. Collagen is quite amazing as the body produces collagen from amino acids. It provides structure and strength and elasticity to connective tissues. Collagen chews come in the form of sticks, rings, and braids are actually a great chew. We have found that they have a pretty good lasting power and they do not make a mess, and the health benefits are quite good. Another form of natural chew are the rawhide alternatives. Earth Animal, for example, makes sticks and rolls that are a rawhide alternative that gives dogs that same sort of chew experience without the danger. The ingredients are brown rice flour, agar-agar, which is a red seaweed used as a vegan gelatin substitute thickener and stabilizer, eggs, olive oil, banana powder, pineapple, and then whatever protein they spread the roll with, like chicken or salmon. The downside to this chew is that many dogs can chew through them pretty fast, so not a long-lasting chew. A company from Holland makes chews from potatoes. Whimsies are in all kinds of shapes, from sticks, toothbrushes, even an ear. Whimsies does list their ingredients, with the first ingredient being potato starch. Again, dogs can get through these pretty fast as well. Yak cheese is a popular alternative chew. These cheese sticks are generally made with yak milk, salt, and lime juice. I would say that there are quite a few companies that have taken on the yak cheese trend, but not all are actually being true to the yak milk only, and quality is not the best. I suggest making sure that the company is well known and look at the ingredients and where they are sourced. In terms of longevity, some dogs will take their time with yak cheese. Some can devour in no time. This will just depend. The best part is that when the chew gets down to an inch or two, they can be microwaved for a few seconds, and the last bit of cheese will puff up and become crunchy for an added treat and to finish off the chew. Antlers are another very hard chew that is all natural. There is some controversy with antlers, where the grapevine has put out that a dog has chipped a tooth or broken a tooth on an antler. First, the antler needs to be naturally shed. Second, No processing should be done other than washing the antler in vinegar. Third, the antlers have to be hand inspected for any flaws where a possible crack could exist. I personally have never encountered anyone who has directly had their dog chip or break a tooth on an antler. The story always seems to go that it was a friend of a sibling or something like that, or the vet said this happens. I'm not really sure why antlers have been the ones being accused of causing harm when pizzles are just as hard. At least with antlers, there is a calcium breakdown when they chew. And the last natural chew is a fairly new one to the market, and that is coffee wood chews. Coffee wood is the pruned branches from coffee trees. They are a very hard chew that can be digested safely. There are no chemicals, artificial ingredients, animal ingredients, calories, caffeine, or sugar. These chews are sustainably sourced and have no harm to the environment. A rather win-win. Well, I think I touched on as many chews that I can think of. Hopefully, when you are standing in front of that section with all these chew choices, you have a bit more information to make your choice less daunting. And asking questions about what kind of ingredient or animal the chew contains is legitimate. But what isn't a legitimate question or questions is, do dogs like these? Or how long does it take for them to chew this? I'm sorry, but I have no idea how long your dog will take to chew something or whether he or she will like it. I can tell you what tends to be a longer lasting chew or something more popular, but as for your individual dog, I don't know. But maybe now that you have some info on edibles and the different types there are, and the new more natural chews, you might give something like collagen a try. It's certainly worth it. And of course, if you are unsure about something, just do a bit of research. Because as I say, knowing is caring. Thank you for listening to Val Talks Pets. Please remember to follow or subscribe to ensure that you never miss an episode. To really help the show and to make it easier for others to find, please rate and review each episode that you find interesting and helpful. And don't forget that you can also email me at val@valtalkspets.com with topics you would like me to address or with any questions you may have. Also, check out my website at valtalkspets.com and let me know what you think and how we can improve upon it. Thanks for caring.